Eagles Week 1 matchup is set, and all I can say to the Cowboy fans is this: time for honoring yourself will soon be at an end. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, King Dingbat here, you know I'll take this. You know I've been talking about this for about 3 weeks. Future Eagles news today, right here. The Philadelphia Eagles got the perfect matchup. Well, just about the perfect matchup. And for the most part, I absolutely love who we're playing Week 1. But before we get into all of that and so much more, we got to announce this by the Eagles. Some more good news. I love the good news is pouring in for us, I'll tell you. The Eagles are not wasting time getting these draft picks signed. And today the Eagles have signed, and they announced they've signed offensive lineman, center guard, Drew Kendall. So he is now under contract, just crossed another draft list, another drafted player off the list. And we should have everybody locked up well before camp. No doubt about it. But let's face it, the big news today is who the Eagles are playing Week 1. There's been a lot of speculation. There's been a lot of rumors. However, it took a turn a few weeks ago when Jerry Jones started to whine. He started to cry. He started to make his voice heard. And, you can hear the Cowboy fans say, oh, they're always out to get us. The league's against us. No, they do whatever you say. They do whatever you say. And Jerry Jones wanted to play the Eagles Week 1. Well, Jerry Jones has got it. Ian Rappaport is reporting, and it begins. The Super Bowl champs. Pound Eagles, not hashtag. Always pound. Eagles versus Cowboys to open the 2025 season. As you can see, the Eagles will be playing the Dallas Cowboys. Now, for the most part, I really like this. I have some specific reasons why. There are a few reasons why I don't, okay? But it is interesting that right now, and it's only May. Don't place any bets. Don't do anything like that. Not right now. But Ed Kratz is reporting the Pound Eagles have opened up as 7-point favorites over the Cowboys September 4th season opener. The over-under is 46.5. This is going to come way down. This is going to come down to about 5, I would guess. 4 or 5 right before the kickoff. But the Eagles are playing Dallas Week 1. The Dallas Cowboys, the closest they're ever going to get to another banner being raised, will be in Philly when the Eagles raise their new banner. I raise my new banner, and we'll be set to go. But for the most part, I like this matchup. Okay, for the most part, yeah. But there are some reasons why I don't like it, okay? The reasons why I like this, and the reason why I like this most of all, is because I'm so sick and tired of the Cowboy fans with their excuses, with their crying, with the it's always this, it's always that. How does a quarterback play, as long as Dak Prescott played, have only 2 playoff victories, right? Especially when you won, at one point they won 12 games like 3 or 4 years in a row, and you only have 2 career playoff victories, and every year is an excuse. Every year it's not his fault, blah, blah, blah. It's crazy. They change the narrative to fit what they like. So Super Bowls and winning rings, that used to matter to them, right? When they wanted Troy Aikman to go into the Hall of Fame, it was all about the Super Bowls, all about the rings. Now that Dak can't get to the Super Bowl, can't win in the playoffs, can't win a big game, it's all about season stats, which many of them, let's face it, we know. A lot of his stats are garbage stats, late fourth quarter and stuff like that. However, the reason I like this particular game versus the Cowboys Week 1, because one, it keeps the Cowboy fans, it's going to keep them talking all summer long. All right. I hated watching last year when the Eagles hadn't even played Dallas yet, and Mark just gave up on the season. It was so depressing, right? Like they were done. They were done before we even played them. So that's not going to happen. Everybody's 0-0 when we play, and most likely everybody will be healthy. That's the other thing. How many times does Dak always hurt now when we're playing the Cowboys? Okay, so he should be healthy. He should be ready to go. No excuses. You got your new weapon. You got your new offense. You got your new coach. Let's do this. Let's do this, mother humpers. Because I'm telling you, it's going to be a beatdown. But there's no more excuses for the Cowboys and their fans. Now, some problems with this matchup are this. One, the Eagles play Dallas week 1. They probably won't see Dallas again till either the last game of the year or the game before the last game of the year. It's going to be really, really late. By the time they meet again the second time, most likely you're going to have, Cowboys, Eagles. They may have already locked up wherever they are. If they're in the playoffs, Dallas, we'll see if they can make the playoffs. But the Eagles will probably have home field locked up or very close. And so you wonder how much or how important the game will be. I know the league loves to put these games at the end of the year, the division games, thinking, we're going to be in a situation where these games are going to matter a lot. But a lot of times, because they do it too late, it just doesn't work because you've already got, team seeds are already set, things like that. They need to let these guys play a little earlier, like early December, not late December, because it just seems like there's too many times where by the time you get to a game, teams are done, and you already know where you are kind of seed-wise and stuff like that. So this may be the only real time you're going to get Dallas trying to win full throttle or you trying to win. Both teams ready to go at it. Both teams should be particularly healthy. This is probably going to be the only game. By the end of the year when we play them again, it may not mean as much. Now, if you go to playoffs and something, whatever, that's a whole new thing. But you get one shot. But the good news is there's no Dak Prescott's out with an injury or anything like that. We don't have to deal with that because, let's face it, every time the Eagles destroy Dallas, there's an excuse. I don't think the Cowboy fans have much. I don't think they have much more to be making excuses about anymore. They're really running out of excuses. You get them talking about, well, Dak's never had a full team like the Eagles. They have never had that, even though it's totally untrue. And I got it. I don't have it with me, but somebody sent me information proving that wrong. I'm going to share with you guys later. But, that's always an excuse. Well, now you went out and you got yourself a wide receiver. It's going to be very hard for fans to sit there and cry about Dallas not doing stuff this year to make Dak better. So they've run out of excuses that way. Now you're going to get the Eagles while you're healthy. Most likely, I don't think Dak will play in preseason, not much. The Eagles won't play in preseason, not much. So we're going to get you week 1, your best shot. Let's go. Now, I also don't like that. Let's face it. First month of the season in September, usually teams aren't at their best. The Eagles usually takes them a month to get going because they don't play in the preseason. So, will you come out right out of the gate? Will you be, ready to go? Will you be at full strength or will you be rusty? Dallas will have the same issue too. So it evens itself out at the end of the day. So no team can use that as an excuse. But overall, I like this. I like this move. The NFL putting the Eagles in Dallas week 1 because I just want to beat this team's ass again. And when that banner goes up and that team's out there, they're going to be hyped. There's going to be a blowout. I can feel it already. I can feel Barkley breaking big giant runs, crowd going crazy. It's just from the get-go, boom. The Eagles hit Dallas. They don't know what hit them. They don't know what to do because Eagles are just, they're playing off of that banner that has been now raised. They're ready to go. It's perfect, man. It's perfect. And if Dallas, when they lose, there's no excuses. There's no excuses for them. Well, I'm sure they'll make it. Well, it was a preseason. Dak, he's come off injury. They'll make it. Mark will find ways to make excuses. But for the most part, there is none. So I absolutely love that the Eagles and Dallas battling out week 1. Hopefully, when we get to that second game, it'll have some meaning. Hopefully, the Eagles won't play on Thanksgiving in Dallas. Hopefully, the Eagles don't play on Christmas Eve on Dallas or Christmas. And we'll know later in the week when we get the schedule. I think it comes out Wednesday. I'll probably go live for that. So, should be interesting. But, yeah, I can understand both points of view. Some people don't want to play Dallas week 1. Thought they were a better matchup with Detroit. To me, it's just going to be nice not having the Cowboy fans be able to go run and hide and say, well, we didn't have this or we didn't have that. No, you were healthy to start the game. And it also keeps them talking crap all summer, which I actually like. I like the banter. I like the crap talking. I think it makes the game fun, and I think the build-up should be absolutely awesome. I mean, they think they're already out there talking about Jalen Hurts going to play in his biggest game of his career, and the Eagles never seen a team like Dallas. Like, what are you people smoking? You're crazy. You're crazy. But that's good. That's good. Time to double moonwalk Dallas's ass early this season. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. When I think about Eagles and Cowboys and opening season, right, playing each other, the game that always comes to mind is the pickle juice game. I mean, for many of you guys, I don't know if you remember that, but that was really like when the Eagles turned the ship around. The whole franchise, dude. This was like early Andy Reid. This is when the Eagles started to really rise in the conference and then in the league. And I think overall, from that point, the Eagles, a team that lost a lot of games, and a lot of us Eagle fans witnessed a ton of losing. That was the point things really changed. I think Deuce had like 200 yards. They knocked Aikman out of the game. They were drinking pickle juice. It was a crazy game. It was like really hot on the field. So this is going to be great. Another start to destroying the Dallas Cowboys. I love it. Denzel Washington out. That's all, folks.
The brother screwed us.